You have a really interesting background. I love it. Your parents, very interesting. And you were born in Alaska. Do I have that right?
Yes, Juneau, Alaska.
Nice. Tell us just a little about your parents.
Well, my mother is a native of Tlingit, from the Tlingit tribe, and we are of the Raven moiety. And her lineage goes back literally thousands of years in southeastern Alaska.
Very nice.
My father was born in an equally interesting faraway land called Kansas.
But he's not there anymore.
No, he lives in Arkansas now.
Really?
But he was military.
So you traveled a lot.
We traveled a ton.
And your mom, a classical pianist.
Yes, from the time she was 6 until the time she passed away.
And did you support her? Did she support your musical endeavors?
She tried very hard to help me get over the stage fright because she was a bit of a ham, and so she didn't understand, my shyness and
sure.
What caused that. So she tried to, but I'm so sorry. She would just be having the best time with what I'm doing now, but she never got to see.
If I may deliver a message from her, she is watching. You can be absolutely sure of that and enjoying. And did you, when she played piano, did that perhaps inspire you to get into music?
Absolutely. And when I was about 14 years old, she started giving, she taught herself to play guitar, and she started giving the kids in the neighborhood guitar lessons, just to earn a little extra money. And my job to earn my lessons was to type up the lyric sheets on a typewriter. Wow. And so if she had 10 students, this was before computers, I had to type up,
oh my goodness,
10 copies of the lyrics. And I took lessons from her for about a year and a half.
Did you? Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. Very, very cool. And you noted in your bio that music has really always helped you get through challenging times, as well as the changes you faced when you traveled around a lot as a child.
Yes, it really, it was my constant, my friend, my companion, and it was my go-to whenever, anything that was troubling me happened. It was, and we went, oh my gosh, I went to 10 different schools in 12 years, so we traveled a lot. We traveled a lot.
Sure.
People like the Beatles and James Taylor and Carole King were
your friends.
Good friends of mine.
That's right. You got it. So inspire us, because you obviously have gotten over your stage fright. Either that or you're a really good actor. Tell us how you did it.
It started because my younger sister, Kelly, was diagnosed with cancer some years back. And there were little things that kind of led up to it. I did... Steve Gregory had invited me to play a couple of times at our church, the contemporary service. There were little things here and there, but the biggest impetus was her illness. And she lived in New Jersey. I couldn't take her to doctor's appointments, and so I wanted to be able to help her financially. And so we did a house concert at our home, and I thought if she could live with what she's living with, I could certainly, try to play some songs for people who were making a donation. And that was kind of the start of it all.
And then you played open mics and did benefits, and your confidence grew?
Exactly.
I would imagine the audience had a little something to do with that. I bet
definitely. Support and encouragement is validation, and it helps you build that self-confidence. But it took a long time. Open mics, it took a good year and a half, really, for me to not be so nervous. I remember in the beginning of, 3 days before the open mic, and you play 2 songs, 3 days before I'd get anxious, and practice my song over and over and over again. And, my husband used to come and sit in the audience time and time again and watch me play the same songs. So,
well, I'm sure it comes as no surprise to our audience, because we have so many singer-songwriters who tune in. It's very common for people to have stage fright, and once they do work it through, it is hard to tell, but they may still. I've heard many people being interviewed, big deal stars,
Barbara Streisand,
absolutely, how they still get the anxiety, but they're able to do their show anyway, but they still feel it. So it's
They learn kind of how to work. They recognize what it is and have learned to work through it.
Exactly.
I think it's because music is, I'm so passionate about it that you really are putting your whole inner self out for
right.
everybody.
That's right.
So it can be a little daunting, but when it's well received, it's such a gift. It's such a good feeling.
Absolutely. Well, I'm also a member of that club who has graduated a bit, so I can certainly relate, and we're glad you're here. So,